Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today's project is to give a review of a new product. This is by the brand ASJMREYE. I don't know how you say that if it's a word. It seems like it's an acronym to me, but it's a newish company. They've been on the market for about 3 or 4 years and they specialize in handheld, battery-powered chainsaws. So this is going to be a review of their 6-inch chainsaw, and so come with me and let's see how this product works. All right, so I'm really happy to have this kind of a tool to give it a shot and let you know how it works for me. I haven't even opened the package, as you can see. This was sent to me before Christmas, but then we went out of town, and so I've had it for a while, and I'm just now getting it put together. So I'm going to put this product together following the instructions that come in the box. Oh, maybe I don't have to put anything together at all. That's pretty good. Comes with a case. I did not know that. Makes sense though. All right, let's see what's in this case. All right. Oh, maybe I do have to put something together. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, already I like what I see so far because this product came with an extra chain. That's handy in case this one breaks or gets dull or something like that. And then it also comes with 2 battery packs and 1 charger. So that's awesome. So you can have a battery waiting ready to use if you use up 1 battery on a job. So I think that's all good news. So let me read through the instructions and get it set up. Okay, so I didn't have to put anything together. All I had to do was put the battery onto the device. I did check the chain to make sure that it is not too loose and not too tight. Often when you have a brand new chainsaw, it loosens up. It comes kind of all right, but then the first few times that you use it, it can get a little bit loose, and so you'll need to just use it for just a second and then check to make sure. And when you need to tighten it, there's a screw right here that you use a screwdriver to tighten. It's right there. You use a screwdriver to tighten this screw to tighten the chain. So I think my understanding is you want to pull down on this chain, and it should only come down so far that you can see 3 of the sprockets, or not sprockets, but the gear things. If you can see more than that, then your chain's too loose. Okay, and so I just put the battery on. I wasn't sure if it was charged or not when it came to me in the package, but it turns out that it is. I do have the other one over here on the charger. There's a red light here. That's the only light indicator about the charger, so I'm hoping that when that turns green, I'll know that it's fully charged. So I don't anticipate that this one is fully charged, although it is charged enough to operate. To operate this, it's designed primarily for right-handers, it appears, because it's got a safety catch right here that you use with your thumb, and then you press that down, and then you pull this trigger here with your index finger to operate. Okay, so some safety things that are just common sense. First of all, make sure that you know where you are. Never turn this on when you're anywhere near anything that could be destroyed, including your fingers, your arms, your legs, another person, etc. So never operate this willy-nilly. Don't play with it, etc. You know, safety rules like that. I will be wearing eye protection and maybe even a mask when I go outside to try this on some wood. I don't think I'm going to need ear protection. It's not all that loud. It's a little bit loud. If I use it for an extended period of time, I might consider ear protection, but I probably won't be, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. It does have a safety on the top, and so the idea is that when you saw down into the wood itself lifts this up and allows the chain to go through the material. So it looks like a lefty can use it, but it's a little awkward. You have to use your index finger for both jobs, both the safety button and the trigger. So righties, you're going to have an easier time with this. And it also looks like you could do it with your hand positioned this way. And they have this little trigger here. And that might actually be a stronger grip, so rather than just this. Yeah. Good to know. So I guess at this point, the only thing to do is, let me just finish reading the instructions and make sure I didn't miss anything. Make sure you wear gloves, of course, especially with your left hand as you hold a piece of wood. The instructions here do say to keep the blade at least 15 centimeters away from your hand. I'll probably try to keep it a little bit further away. And I'm going to wear leather gloves, not just the cloth gloves, because it's just that much more protection for my hand. Yeah. Okay, so this is made overseas. The instructions are mostly in Chinese, and the translation into English is a little less than stellar. However, if the product works well, I'm not going to quibble with the instructions. So that is the next test. Let's take this outside and see how it works. Okay, this is the first day where it has been warm enough that I don't think the branches that I want to cut are frozen anymore. So hopefully I'll be able to use the chainsaw on wood that's not frozen. I think it would be harder and it would hurt the blade and hurt the motor on the machine if I were to try to cut frozen limbs on this pile. Now the other thing is, this is not the day that I want to do any really big pruning or cutting down of branches in the garden. That's a bigger job. I'm just trying to get this product used and reviewed for you. So I'm just going to try to cut through some limbs of varying sizes that I have here in my brush pile, and just give you a review of it that way. Now I do have leather gloves and safety goggles, and that's what I'm going to be using. So let's get to it. I might as well just start with this one. This is about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches in diameter. Let's see how it does. Now you never want the chain to go into soil, so I'm going to do it out here like this. All right, that was really easy to do. It went through it like butter. The only thing I need to do is improve my grip situation. So let me try again. So easy. Wow, that's awesome. All right, let me try a bigger limb and see how it does. Okay, this one's about 2 or 2.5 inches at this area. So let me see how I can do on that. Again, I don't want the blade to go into the earth. Well, it did catch. Let me see if that's my error or the machine. Not exactly sure why that caught. Could have to do with the fact that the limb had some irregularities in there. I'm not sure. Also, I think if you don't put a constant level of pressure, it's more likely to catch. Oh, also my chain. You can see my chain is already loose. So that's probably why it caught. So let me go get a screwdriver and tighten that up. All right, so you might be able to see that the chain is really loose, and so it needs to be tightened. And there's a screw right in here that you use to tighten the screw. I need a longer screwdriver because this one is getting in the way of the blade. And of course, when I need it, I can't find a longer screwdriver, so I got this little guy, which might help me out by making me not have to move my hand so much. All right, so I'm having just a little bit of trouble tightening this screw. It's already pretty tight. So I think I might need to go back inside and get the wrench to take this nut off, take this cover off, see what's going on. But I don't know that that's going to affect this screw here, but let me try. Can I untighten it? I feel like I'm stripping the screw and that would be no good. So let me go inside and see what I can do. Okay, we're back inside. I'm going to read the instructions again and see if I can figure out how to tighten the chain. I'm going to take the battery out so that there's no chance that it'll turn on while I'm working with it. All right, so when you take this apart, there's the screw that you're dealing with is here. And when you screw it in, it draws this a little bit tighter up the screw. And that is connected to the chain, which is very sharp, and goes into one of these holes right here. And that's what draws the chain in tighter. So all right, so I'm going to take this, just going to take this guide off. That way I can work easier. Oh, that was a mistake, because now I'm going to have to figure out how to put that back together with the spring. Oh. Didn't bargain on that. Okay. There we go. All right, that was a long way around the bend to get to that spot, but now I know how chainsaws come on and come off, how they get loosened and how they get tightened. So that was a good lesson for me anyway. I hope that it wasn't too annoying to watch. All right, now I need to, I've got to put this guide back on. Does it have to go on first or? Good. All right. Now this guy's got to go back on. I will say there's a little peg right here that is supposed to help hold it in place, but it has broken off. So that's, it's just barely holding on. I'm going to leave it on, but that plastic piece has already failed. I haven't even used the tool all that much. Okay, so now that I know how this works, in the future I'll be able to tighten the chain way more easily than I did this time. I just didn't know how chainsaws work, so now I do. And now I know that this is the screw that I need, and I should be persistent with, oh look, I still have these on. I should be persistent with that screw, and if I need to, I can take it apart, tighten it, and put it back together. But that's slow. But, all right, and now my chain is tight again, so good. All right, battery back in. Let's go back outside and test it some more. All right, let me look for some bigger pieces of wood. I've already done like a 1 inch and a 2 inch. Let me see if I can find a 3 or 4 inch piece. I might have to go down the other side. I do have some bigger pieces of wood here, so I'm going to bring you closer so you can watch how this goes. And I'm happy to report I do have hellebores growing on this hill. that I planted last spring. So that's exciting. Okay, this limb right here is a good 3, maybe 3.5 or 4 inches. So I'm gonna see if I can cut that. Okay, when using a chainsaw, you want to start the blade moving before you touch the wood, otherwise it might catch and kick back on you. Also, you want to apply an even pressure. You don't really need to do a sawing motion at all, just an even pressure, not forcing anything. Let the blades do the work, but give it just enough pressure to keep the grip even and steady. That went through that like a knife through butter, so that's really good. See if I can find a slightly larger one. This one's bigger. Let me try this. You know what? I don't think that's going to be safe for me to do, so I'm going to leave that one there because of the way it's teetering on this pile. I don't want to do anything unsafe. If I really needed to cut this, I would take this off the pile, I would put it onto like a sawhorse or a workbench or something safer, and I would make sure that it's not wobbling or anything like that. This is just a handheld saw. This doesn't have two-handle grip on it, so it's easy. I feel like it would be easy for this to get away from me on too big of a piece if the piece isn't solid and steadily supported. Like this one was totally supported. So just, chainsaw safety, make sure that you are cutting on something with some support, or if not, have a friend hold it for you on the other end, far away from the blade. So I just don't want to do anything unsafe. So, okay. Well, so far this looks like a great little handy tool to have around. Now, wrist strength and arm strength. I cut this 3 or 4 inch piece of wood with actually no problem at all. Again, just keeping a steady, even pressure on the blade as it goes down. That is the way to let the saw do the work for you. So it didn't require much strength at all in my arm or in my wrist. The weight of the devices, I would say it's like a pound, maybe certainly less than 2 pounds, even with the battery on it. And the battery is certainly the heaviest part of it. It looks like it's the housing is all plastic. There's no metal on the housing. I don't know what the motor is made out of, but so far I'm really pleased with how this product works. So yeah, let me see what else I can find to cut. So I feel like the biggest benefit to having a tool like this on our property is going to be how we can clear shrub and brush. Volunteer trees, we have so many. I hesitate to try to put a number on it, but like here's an example of a volunteer tree, and I don't want this tree to grow up. We have enough mature trees. I don't need this tree. So I'm actually going to see if I can cut this tree down with this saw. And you know what? We'll see if Dave notices that we're down a volunteer. Timber. Of course, I probably wouldn't try to do anything too much larger on my own, but that was pretty easy. I would say it's about 1.5 inches in diameter at the bottom where I cut it. So yeah, that is a handy tool. You may have seen that it did catch on me again as I was cutting it. I think that was probably due to the lack of steady pressure that I put on it. Because I was going in a different direction than I had been doing before. Going down is a lot easier of a motion. Going sideways takes different muscles, different strength. And so I think I let it get a little bit uneven in my pressure, and that's why it caught. But I was able to get it to work with no problem anyway. I think overall this tool is going to be a handy one to have around the house. Now, I don't have another one like this. I've never tried another company's product. I don't know if this is the best one on the market, or maybe this is the most cost-effective one on the market, or I don't know this compared to other products. But I can tell you that if you're interested in having a small handheld battery-operated chainsaw to help you with managing your limbs and branches around your property, this is a good one to have. Now, if you already have a regular chainsaw, gas-powered or electric-powered or whatever, is this worth the investment? I don't know. It depends on your needs and what you have going on. I can see that this is going to be great for people who don't want to deal with the big heavy one. This also would be good for quick jobs that you don't want to get the big machine out. Is it more of a convenience in that regard? Probably. Yeah, but for me, this is my very first chainsaw. It's a nice entry-level one. It's one that I know I'll be able to use and put to good use around our property throughout the year, all year long. If you'd like to buy this product, there's a link in the description box down below. And you can get 20% off of your purchase by using coupon code A20 or A20. So thank you for sending this product out to me to try, and I appreciate it, and I'm happy to say that my review is pretty good. The only thing I would say negatively is that the connections, the little pins that hold this plastic cover on, have broken, and so I don't know how that will affect this tool going forward, and I had a little bit of trouble figuring out how to tighten the chain, but that's probably more user error than anything else. So yeah, so I do recommend it. I will put a link to the product in the description box down below if you're interested in getting one of these for yourself. They do offer other models. This is the model that has it had 2 extra chains actually, and 2 battery packs, and a carrying case. And I believe there are other models with other accessory options to consider. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this review of this chainsaw, and I will see you in another video real soon, friends. Bye-bye.